My last name is Lee.
LALINOA.
Ever mai, and tune in to our podcast, LALINOA Podcast. I've got a special guest, but before I get into it, I'm going to get him to introduce himself, and then we're going to continue some good news going out to inspiring artists here in the Kingdom of Tonga, or already artists, but want to do better or do more with their content or with their music. Josh.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be here in the beautiful, friendly islands of Tonga. My name is Mase Josh Mase, and I am the head of Pacific Music and Distribution for Precise Digital.
Josh, I think my first question I have for you is talk about Precise Digital.
Definitely. So Precise is we're kind of like a one-stop shop for musicians and artists in the Pacific region, and we are based in Auckland, New Zealand. So some of the services that we provide is we are a music distribution service. So we, take your music and we make it available online on social media platforms. In a nutshell, we do the music publishing thing as well, where we protect the rights of our songwriters and represent them, around New Zealand and across the world. And then also there's the YouTube monetization, which is a very big part of our business. It's the very platform that Precise was built on. So, and I know YouTube is very, very popular here in Tonga. There are a lot of artists who have YouTube channels but are not monetized. So monetization means making money on your YouTube channel from your original content, whether that be music or, we have a few social media influencers here too that are very popular on the social platforms as well.
Josh, you spoke about the monetization. It's something that a lot of people probably hear it and they're like, "Oh, what is Josh talking about?" You spoke about YouTube channels and the amount of artists that have songs on YouTube. Yeah. In Tonga, I know for a fact it's new hearing these things. Even the region Tonga, in some of the platform, it's not included because of Tonga. What does Precise do to ensure that these artists or these like you said YouTube influencers or social media influencers get the money they deserve, or it's coming to them?
Definitely, very good question, Lala. Thank you. So, from a sort of artist perspective, music, we'll start there. The whole landscape of it has changed, meaning the consumption of music. People listen to music digitally now, all online. Whereas back in the day, you had to go out and buy a CD. And then we went to the MP3 thing, the downloading thing. Now it's strictly streaming. And in Tonga, there's a big need, or there's a gap there for people like us to come through and connect people to these services and these platforms. So in Tonga, we've identified that there are local artists in Tonga who, some of them don't even have YouTube channels but have recorded CDs, right? And now that it's changed, I mean, everyone's Bluetoothing now. You can't play the CD anymore. So we have people who have illegally put these music online. So there's a small number of them that understand that YouTube thing, but we want to reach the artists that own the music so that we can be the bridge and bring that gap a little bit closer so we can make it available online. And I think in Tonga there are a lot of our sort of our artists that came before us, our forefathers that set the platform from recording cassettes, recording CDs. That music you only hear it on the radio now, but we want to make that available, and we have been successful. So we, Precise has reached out and are now working alongside legends like Ulise Poleo, Foni Poleo. These are the guys who started it back in the 80s, and we were successful in connecting with their families. And now you can see all their music online, although they have passed on, but they have official YouTube channels that people can go on and enjoy the music. You can go on Spotify and enjoy Ulise Poleo. You can go on Facebook and use the audio and make a story to Ulise Poleo, to Foni Poleo. You know, Tupo Lotoani was another local artist that we've been working with as well, getting his music monetized and making it available. So it really is, you know, there's a lot of, on the back end of it, it's quite sophisticated, but, you know, it's quite simple. You know, Precise is here to connect with the local artists, to make their music available for everyone to enjoy on streaming platforms. But then with that, you know, who benefits from it? The artist, because then all the royalties that it generates on all platforms, we pay it straight to, you know, the artist or the rights holders that own these recordings. So that's the sort of the plan and the goal for Tonga. We've been very successful in Samoa, you know, and we have Samoans that are releasing music from Samoa locally, and they're charting on the YouTube charts in New Zealand and Australia. Never been done before. Why? Because there is, and the reason why that's happening is because there's a distribution service like Precise that understand the market and know where to push the music. Now, we know that, you know, I think as Tongans and Samoans, we're very blessed to have Tongans and Samoans in all parts of the world. America, New Zealand, Australia. And we have successful musicians from these areas, right? So we sort of identify them as the more mainstream because they're in the bigger countries. But we want the locals, you know. The locals, that's a different breed, and it's a different, you know, that's a different beast altogether. Like over here, it's all about that upbeat, you know, TikTok viral sort of stuff that just gets lost. There's no connection from that to Spotify, to YouTube. So Precise is that bridge. And the reason why myself and my good friend Ben Dapuelu are here is so we can help bridge that gap. And we want to do that, you know, as quickly as possible, because these people, you know, they need services like us to sort of help them. And, you know, the most important thing is, for me, it's so rewarding to be able to, you know, bless our families. In Samoa, we've seen it change lives, like for the better. You know, we have artists there that make good income, like some of them too good. You know, they're making like probably the same as a regular job, like a doctor or a lawyer. And these guys, it's just all from music, you know, all from streaming platforms. And we want to establish that in Tonga. And I know it's going to be good for our artists and musicians. It's going to help them grow and help them take care of their families as well.
Josh, you mentioned the success that you had in Samoa with all these artists. In Tonga, there's a when it comes to artists in Tonga, especially with the copyright law here in the Kingdom of Tonga, there is one, but it's not enforced, and artists has music already available online, on radio, but yet they still have to go get a job, and some of them, sadly, and I've spoken to you about this off air, have quit making music. Josh, I want to play devil's advocate right now and tell you that you're not going to be you're not the first one that's come and promised these artists the greener grass is with us and all of that. What makes Precise different from anyone else? I think the first one is it is digital, which hasn't been done here in the Kingdom of Tonga. But what else is it with Precise that these artists need to listen to and need to know?
No. Faftai Lover, that's a very good question, and I was actually going to get to that. But so we'll start with the copyright stuff. Copyright is a very it's broad. People don't understand that. Even people in the music industry, it's a term. Intellectual property and copyright is thrown way too loosely in this industry, and people don't understand what it is. So there are many copyright laws, and in music, the two main copyrights in this sort of sense would be the copyrights on the recording, and then there's another copyright on the lyrics and the composition. So it's like a coin, heads or tails. You know, those are the two sides of it. And Precise has been very successful in, helping artists, protect their rights in the digital space. And as you said, there's a small group of people, not only in Tonga, but in the Pacific, that have sort of understood the distribution game. And these are the guys that have gone and they've bootlegged or they've ripped and they've put it up for their own gain. Now, Precise's job is to get rid of, is to muscle these guys off. And how do we do that? Connecting with the artist, and then there's a legal document that allows us to protect the rights. So there's an agreement in place that allows us to go to YouTube and Spotify and say, hey, take this down. This doesn't belong to this person, it belongs to this person. And then the platforms come to us and say, oh, okay, where's the proof? Agreement's in place, there's a signed document there. And then we've done that so many times. YouTube is massive. And we've identified that there are some YouTube channels that like to upload Tongan music, and some of these people make money on it only because the Tongan music is not represented by anyone, right? And Precise has done that in the Pacific in the past 3 years very successfully. Now, what sets us apart from other services? We know the music industry is ever changing. One platform comes up with something different, the other one counters. Okay, Spotify goes, we're going to bring out this, YouTube does this. Spotify goes, oh, we'll focus on algorithmic playlists. And then YouTube might come, oh, let's do shorts now. Let's copy it. Like, there's a continuous, these platforms don't work together. That's why Meta has come along and they've grouped Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. Now you got Spotify battling YouTube. There's over 30 platforms that we deliver music to. And what sets us apart is that I know, the Pacific has been a very sort of touchy subject in the past, especially with music. Now, there have been other sort of people that have come here in the past and promised and sold and try to sell, like services to people. But I believe, for me, in my past experience in the past 3-4 years from doing this is, promising is something that we don't do. I'm not trying to sell anything, but we are trying to provide an opportunity for our people. Now, there's a big difference in that. And what sets us apart is that we've got the track record. When we started this, when we moved into the Pacific in 2021 January, we didn't come out with a bang with the signs, Precise signs saying, hey, come register here. We had to do the groundwork. And that was done low key as. No one knew who we were. Now they know 3 years later. And there's a reason why it's like that. And honestly, I have to credit our CEO and founder, Michael Giles. When I first met him, he was a guy that didn't like the whole, us Islanders, we love the whole shebang. We come out with the flyers, the posters, the Precise posters, the balloons, and it's a party. And then what happens?
And it ends in the party.
Exactly. And then no work gets done. So I knew, but Michael didn't tell me that. He did the work and we followed. The team followed. And so we've done that for 3 years now. And I'm telling you, we've got the track record. Samoa is flying. Fiji is on its way. Hawaii, working with artists like Josh Tofi, with working with artists like Maoli. These are the guys that do it big, So that's what sets us apart. Like, I know people have tried to come here or in Samoa and Fiji and try to get our artists to sort of sign over all these things. But because we've got the track record, it's proven, it's right there. We don't have to sort of come here and try and sell anything to them, because we just go, hey, this is what we've done. This is all the artists that we work with. This is who we pay. This is what we can do. Are you keen? And then they just look, oh, they've got Josh Tatufi. Oh, they've got all these Samoan artists. It's pretty much like me coming here with the proof. Like, it's proven. There's a blueprint that we have and it works. Now, we need to connect with these Tongan locals, because that's what we want to do. And I know for a fact that they're here, because Samoa and Tonga are very similar. The locals are a different beast here, and you know, I know, they're different to what we're used to in New Zealand, although there are similarities that cross over, but it's a different ball game here, and that's what we want to service. We want to service the people of Tonga, not just in Tongatapu, but also reach out to the islands of Oahu, Hawaii, and my favorite island, Niue, because it's closer to Samoa.
Josh, we've spoken about the benefit as in financially of going through this way, going through Precise and having your songs in a digital format. But to be honest, and you can speak on it, is most of these artists financially is not what drives them. It's the creativity, it's making music. So can you talk about or give an example of any local artist in Samoa that's had their songs in these platforms and it's grown or it's climbed up charts or anything like that? Because I think in the deep core of every artist, one thing is financially, but the second one, or probably more important, is having their music to be heard around the world.
Definitely, that's a very, very good question. That's a podcast, honestly, because it's a discussion that can go on for hours, and I've seen that firsthand. If you notice, like, I know you know talented artists, and if you work and sit with them, what drives them is not the money. I'm telling you. You look at someone like Fiji.
I've met a few here in Tonga.
Exactly. They're a different beast, and when you roll or when you create with people like that, man, I'm telling you, like, you've heard it so many times, but an artist that focuses solely on his craft, and he just does that with a pure heart, good intentions, man, the music that comes out is. But then when you have a team but like Precise on the back end administrating that person, man, the money just follows. Like I've heard it my whole life, don't do it for the money, and I never understood that until I got into this. Like, I always thought, don't do it for the money, don't do it for the money. But when you put what's first, everything else will come. And what's first in this business is the music. Right? Too many people get caught up in other things like marketing, promotions, managing, touring, but they don't have the thing they need. You know, they need. I think that's why artists need to be in this space more. Create, concentrate on creating, concentrating on perfecting your craft. Everything else will follow. But if you do it, you know, with knowing that you're put on this earth to do this, you know, everything else will follow. But some examples from Samoa, man, it's crazy. You know, Mr. Cowboy. He's a country singer from Samoa.
Yeah, we've played the viral song.
Yeah. There's a story behind that song that's very funny. But Mr. Cowboy is an actual cowboy from Samoa who lives on a 500-acre farm, and he video calls me like, "Oh, look, I've got this new machine for my cows." But I'm like, he's an actual cowboy, but he's very talented, and he's got that song, that Obaladi song, you know, and you know, this guy, same story. He didn't care about the money or anything. Like, he didn't do that song intentionally to make money. And to be honest, to tell you the truth, I actually said to him, I don't know about that song. And he goes, nah, I have a good feeling. But for him, he didn't say to me, this is going to go viral, it's going to make money. He just said, I love it and I believe in it. And then I said to him, okay, let's do it. Put it out, 15 million views on YouTube. It's the biggest song, you know, and he's still collecting on that, you know, although it's a cover. But because he's gone into the studio and recreated the instrumentation, he didn't mix the words or anything like that, he can fully put that out as a cover version. And, you know, it's taking care of his family right now. And there's so many stories like that in Samoa. You know, there's a few artists, you know, who have done really, really well. But again, in Samoa, these are artists that play 4 times a week, gigging. And then now that they're going, instead of gigging 4 times a week, they're going to the studio to record music and put it up on YouTube. I've seen a few here in Tonga. I've seen a few. There's a few local artists that do the same, but they just need our backing to push it out, reach a wider audience. Tongans in Australia, Tongans in New Zealand and America, they're always looking for local artists who are doing well. And I think if we become the platform for these people, they're going to do really, really well.
Josh, I'm going to take you up on that podcast on artists and the difference with financially and what most artists put out music for. It's the art and being creative. To end our radio interview for this morning, and this will be also released on social media and in our Spotify podcast as well. You're here in the Kingdom of Tonga. If you're an artist watching you right now, Josh, what's a message to them, especially with the not just now and the future presence of Precise here in the Kingdom of Tonga?
Wow. If you're an artist here in the Kingdom, whichever island you're on, please reach out to us on our Facebook, Precise Tonga, and flick us a message through there, and we'll reach out to you as quickly as we can. And I think, just a message to all our Tongan brothers and sisters who are in the music industry here, who love to create music, even producers, songwriters who are here, please reach out, utilize our service. I'm supposed to sort of drop this, but we are coming back. In a month's time. So the whole purpose of myself and Ben coming here is to sort of get the talks going, having a few conversations with people like yourself and the team here to help us prepare for when we come back. Because when we come back, we want to connect with as many artists as we can. And I think if you're listening to this, please, you don't have to wait for us to come back. Just reach us on Facebook. Precise Tonga is the name of our Facebook. And, please get in touch with us, and then we can help anywhere we can, establishing and maintaining the YouTube channels, releasing your music, and, just connecting our locals here with other artists, as well. I mean, collaborations is another big thing as well, is collabing our artists, with other cultures. And, magic happens when that happens. And I think for the future musicians of Tonga, there's so much potential here. Me and Ben were just driving down and we see kids all the time, and just think, man, one of these kids is gonna, it's probably the next Josh Tartofi or the next sort of 3 houses down or whatever. There's so much potential here, but I think what we want to do as Precise is to come here and be the platform for all our artists, songwriters, producers, music producers, DJ, whatever you do in the creative industry, please talk to us, because we'd love to work with you and help service any way that we can.
And for those that's going to be watching this on any of our social media handle, please message us as well. We're in touch with Josh and Ben from Precise. So if you message us, any artists that likes giving us music as well to play on 88.6 FM, please give us a message, and you're interested. Even if you're just interested to meet, you don't have to be interested to jump on yet. A meeting is all these guys want, to be able to talk to you about their service. If you haven't already got want more information apart from what Josh has said on this interview, please get a hold of us or get a hold of Precise Tonga. Thank you very much, Josh, for being here.
Thank you, Lala. Thank you so much.
And that's it for our little interview over here. And make sure to all the artists, please get a hold of Precise.